During this pandemic, many of us, including myself, have ordered pizza carry out from our favorite pizzeria. And of course, when we do order pizza, it comes in one of these boxes that we've become used to eating from. And so our general perception is, okay, it's cardboard, we can just go ahead and recycle it. But unfortunately, it is much more complicated than that. So that's why today I'm going to answer the question, should I recycle my pizza box? And the answer to that question, as I mentioned, is pretty complicated. First of all, most pizza boxes are made of corrugated cardboard. Corrugated cardboard is actually one of the easiest materials to recycle. The problem comes in the fact of what ends up in this corrugated cardboard, and that's pizza. The pizza we love and enjoy. The only problem is pizza is filled with greases and oil, and as you can see, very, very dirty inside of this cardboard box. So why is that a problem? Well, these greases and these oils do not help in the process of recycling. The corrugated cardboard needs to be in its as original form as possible, as clean as possible. So, without thinking, if you toss one of these pizza boxes into your normal recycling for cardboard, this could destroy an entire huge amount of cardboard in it, because when it goes into processing, the grease and these oils affect the actual whole recycling that's going on, and so all of a sudden a whole bale or however processing works for recycling can be tainted and unusable for recycling simply because of your one box that you threw in of greasy leftover pizza. So how do we resolve this possible situation while still recycling? There are many avenues. First, you could get really detailed with your pizza box and cut out all the areas where you see obvious signs of grease. So really, we break down our cardboard anyway, at least we should, when we recycle. So this would be going to another level with your pizza box, breaking it down to ensuring that only the components of the corrugated cardboard that are as clean as possible are what you toss in for recycling. Then there's also a variety of different avenues that you can do to really address your pizza consumption, which ultimately your pizza consumption from pizza restaurants includes getting these kinds of boxes. And so we were raised and still have the knowledge of knowing those 3 R's. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. And unfortunately, most of us think that recycle is the number one in those 3, and in fact, it isn't. It's the third in that order of what is important. Reduce and reuse are far more important in our carbon footprint and caring about the environment. So when it comes to pizza consumption, what are the avenues where we could reduce or reuse? Well, obviously, if you really love pizza, find your own pizza recipes, cook pizza at home, get other ways of consuming pizza. Of course, this doesn't feel great in the pandemic when we obviously want to support small businesses, support those pizzerias that we do love. And so really it is about kind of narrowing down the ability of how many of these kinds of boxes that you acquire. And so you have to make those decisions in how you want to go about reducing the amount of these boxes that you're getting. So that means reducing your pizza consumption or finding other ways in which to consume pizza. The other way is, of course, reusing. So maybe there are avenues that you could find to reusing these kinds of boxes where you don't mind the greasiness that's associated with it, or when you break them down, using it for different arts, crafts, something. Corrugated cardboard is still, there are other avenues with which you could go about using it, whether in its box form that you get it, or in breaking it down and doing a lot of different other things with it. So the real thing that it comes down to is that we don't keep tossing these boxes into landfills or just, it's such a unfortunate, wasteful thing in enjoying something as delicious as pizza that we have this real difficulty when it comes to how we go about recycling it or reducing, reusing anything that comes with pizza and supporting small businesses that provide us with pizza. And so many restaurants do, great pizza restaurants as well as just your occasional other Americana restaurants. So we have to have that sense and awareness when we consume pizza, as well as what we do with these boxes. So think about it if you care about the environment in advance of consuming or ordering out pizza. So what exactly is the conclusion to all of this? It's just a matter of you considering thoroughly when you're going into handling pizza, as well as just knowing that recycling isn't the number one thing when it comes to helping out the environment. It certainly does help, but you also have to have ownership and responsibility when it comes to recycling. And it's very easy for people to just think, well, this is cardboard, I'm going to go ahead and toss it into a municipal recycling bin. And that's not the case. It could really contaminate and cause major issues for recycling by doing so. One little behavior on your part that you think is good for the environment actually totally had a negative effect, not just on your recycling, but on others' recycling. So another thing that you can do is at least look up your municipal recycling program. Some cities, like New York City, do accommodate receiving pizza boxes via recycling. And why wouldn't they? What isn't more New York than pizza and the Italians? I'm weirdly dressed like the worst character in Greece, like Nardo, and that was more Tony Banta in Taxi, who I guess he kind of dressed like this. It doesn't matter. I love Italians, but it doesn't. Who cares? So the biggest thing is also caring about your local recycling program, looking up where you go to recycle or who picks up your recycling, and seeing if they can even accommodate taking pizza boxes. Just depends on each city, locality, whatever. But please do read the rules for where you're going about recycling, because that your individual contribution to recycling can have a much bigger impact on the recycling process that we have. How big of an impact is it that Americans disregard some of the rules to recycling? Well, in 2018, in both China and India, they stopped accepting our recycling of cardboard and other products that were just too filled with our leftover grease and other contaminants, because we just were not cleaning them. We were just haphazardly recycling. So pizza boxes, other items like this, please do take the effort to learn in advance whether you should be recycling certain things or not. And also, please keep valuing reducing and reusing above recycling. Well, that's it. And if you have any comments, please do leave them below. Please do subscribe to the channel. That can only help me to get the kind of little royalties and advertising revenue that I need to no longer be wearing this as a shirt. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and just listen to Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons now.